What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Neal Pionk. Pionk is a defenseman for the Winnipeg Jets, right-hand shot, and he is in a contract year. That said, he has put up some big offensive numbers this year and has been a great contributor, on the power play and even 5-on-5 at times offensively. In the last two seasons, Neal Pionk has thrown up 33 points for the Jets. This season, through just 35 games, he already has 26. This guy's been really good offensively. He's been, definitely chipping in 5 goals, 21 assists. People aren't too worried about the offense right now. They're more so worried about the defense. Neal Pionk has never been a defensive defenseman. He's never been great at the whole defense part, and I don't think that's really, hard to argue with anybody. I don't think anyone's going to press me on that. He has improved his defensive game when he's playing with a partner like Dylan Samberg, but Samberg arguably was the Jets' best defensive defenseman up until he got injured with that broken foot. Still has not returned. We'll see him in the new year, and I assume he'll be partnered back with Pionk, and that's fine, because I do like how Pionk plays with Samberg, and if that's how they're going to roll it this year, that's great. But one thing that scares me is with the production of Neal Pionk this season is, are the Jets going to pay him long term, as this is, as I said before, a contract year? The thing that worries me is that the Jets are going to see these point totals and, ignore the defensive game and say, yeah, you know what, Neal Pionk, you are worth, a 6, 7, 8-year extension worth, $7-8 million, depending on, how far the numbers go up. He's going to be expensive this offseason. Whether he signs with the Jets or not, Neal Pionk is going to get paid. And I'm a little bit worried that the Jets are going to try very hard to keep him. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be, raising an eyebrow saying, hey, what the heck, he's been so good this year. And yes, while he's had a better year than he's had in the past, he is not worth $8 million or anywhere near that money. Yes, Pionk has put up good offensive numbers this year. As I've said before, I want to drive that home because, I know people are going to say, oh, you can't win without goals, you can't win without points, and da-da-da-da-da. But you also can't win without defense because Pionk doesn't bring a whole lot of that on his own, and he's been exposed a little bit without Dylan Samberg. With him playing with Fleury, we've seen him run around, we've seen him make some, kind of dumb decisions that we've seen in the last, 3 to 4 years here in Winnipeg. And if he's not being babysat, I really do worry about Pionk. And even when he is being babysat, he does make his, mistakes and everything, as, defensemen do. But Pionk is just not a great, intelligent hockey player. He's a great defenseman in terms of, being on the power play on the second unit there. He has that great shot, that was on display in Minnesota. But then you see his decision making, late in a game against the Anaheim Ducks out of all teams, and he just throws it in front of the net right to Troy Terry, who goes around Nino Niederreiter and Connor Hellebuck and scores the game winner with 25 seconds left. So, it's just stuff like that we see more often than the good stuff from Pionk, and I'm worried that the Jets are going to kind of ignore that this offseason, or even before the offseason, and, give him a pretty large extension. Now, I understand that teams need to pay their guys, but I worry that the Jets are going to feel that Pionk is one of their guys when there are players that they're going to need to pay in the near future, such as Nikolai Ehlers, who's also in a contract year, also going to demand big money. He's been amazing this season. Other guys coming up in the future, Gabe Vilardi, going to need a contract, is going to be an RFA. He needs to get paid as well. I would love to see that one long term, much more than a Pionk. Right? I'd much rather see Nikolai Ehlers, get paid the Pionk money than, Neal Pionk, right? Because those two guys are far more impactful than Neal. And if you look at other guys in the future, this even goes down to Cole Perfetti. He's going to need a contract in a couple of seasons here. He's going to probably be paid. If we look at Dylan Samberg, same thing. From what I've seen this season, he's going to make big money. Kyle Connor down the line, another guy that's been out of his mind this season. All of these guys need to get paid, and you can't pay everyone, so who do you choose? I just really hope it's not Neal Pionk, because there are replaceable players for Pionk that you can go find, I promise you, or that you can trade for. I just think it would be a waste of money in term, and I think it would be a waste, losing some other players to keep a guy like Neal. Another thing that kind of worries me about the point total that he's putting up this year is that the Jets are going to say, oh, you know what, we don't need a right shot defenseman as bad as we think. We have Neal Pionk. That would be such a heartbreaker if, the team with this kind of foundation looked at their lineup and said, yeah, Neal Pionk can play, top 4 minutes consistently. We don't need to really add too much on the defensive end. That would really suck, because that is probably the Jets' biggest need. I would love to see them add, a partner for Josh Morrissey. DeMello has been great, but has admittedly taken a step back this year. He is just getting older, and that is, how it goes sometimes. But, maybe DeMello is, more suited to play with a guy like Sandberg, maybe, just a few minutes less per night, right, than playing with Josh Morrissey, playing top line minutes all the time. He hasn't been absolutely awful, but I don't think he's been at the level of, a few seasons ago, defensively anyway. So that's just where I'm at with that. But yeah, it does scare me a little bit. While Pionk does have success offensively, the defensive game, when the Jets start to play, rush teams, we've seen them struggle in the past. And I do worry that the Jets aren't going to spend enough assets on defense. I really hope they do, but I just really hope they're not blinded by the points. But to sum it all up here, Neal Pionk has been having a good offensive season, obviously, and in a contract year, he is going to get paid. But will it be the Winnipeg Jets? Are they going to step up to the plate and give him a big contract in the offseason? I really hope not. I hope that they look elsewhere. They focus on some of the players on their own team currently. Yes, I know they clear up a lot of money with Appleton, Iafallo, all coming off the books. But I just really do worry that, signing a Neal Pionk long-term could be the beginning of, a long road to get back to success for Winnipeg, as, they have other guys to sign, and I really do worry that, contracts like a Pionk and, could just end up being the start of the downfall for the Jets. But what do you think? Let me know down below what you think about Neal Pionk. I want to hear whatever you have to say about him. Am I right? Am I wrong? I want to hear about it below. But with all that said, guys, I am out of here. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Have a great holiday season. I'm probably going to be taking a little bit of time off, probably, maybe 4 to 5 days, but we will be back here on the channel, I can assure you, with some more content. So thank you all for watching. See you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.